Awesome. That's it.
All
Hello,
right.
everybody. Welcome to my first live show with actually somebody on. So this is really quite exciting. I'd like to introduce you to Joseph Stepke, who, as we know him as, Joe, the finance guy. So, Joe, throw out a little bit of what you do and, for work and everything, how you can help some companies and people out.
Oh, do I have to do the thing over again now?
No, you don't. So,
are you sure? Well,
yeah, no credit needed.
Well, yeah, that's true. And the thoughts and opinions that I express.
You don't have to do that. I'm not as big time as Exit Your Way. So.
All right. So, but the thoughts and opinions are my own. But I did work for a company called Acima Credit. And Acima Credit, I branded myself as Joe the Finance Guy because I've worked for the company about 5 years now. And what we do is we offer an alternative payment option for retail stores. So when a store I help grow top line revenue. Stores have traditional financing, like Wells Fargo, various banks, just regular lenders, maybe even Synchrony. They're all credit based. And when people get denied from that, that's when we come in. And would you believe, Nick? I mean, and I just found this out the other day when I was doing stuff for my website and working with one of my friends from Acima Credit. We were working on something together for the other ASMs, and 69% of Americans don't even have $1,000 in their savings account for an emergency, something that happens in an emergency. And I think, and that was even, that article went out pre-COVID. So
worse now.
Yeah, you would think it would be worse now. And it just makes you wonder how much this can help boost revenue. I mean, there's so many things to explore on that, but there's so many, it just makes you wonder how many people out there that might need something. What about when the washing machine, this is summertime, it's hot. Usually what breaks down is the refrigerator. The refrigerator, a freezer, those usually go during this time. Not to mention the AC units. But if you don't have $1,000, you need a fridge. You need a fridge. You need a freezer. And if that breaks down, what are you going to do? All the food's going to go around. You need to be able to go out and get something. And if you don't have the money for it, call Joe the Finance Guy. Make sure that retail business uses somebody like me, and I'll make sure I help you. The program
Absolutely. There you go, Joe. So like I told people before, for me, doing this first one is going to be a little bit of a train wreck. I forgot to introduce myself. My name's Nick Dorsey. and I like to say this portion of the live is sponsored by the All Things Gratitude podcast, which will be launching soon. So there's my plug.
There you go. And please subscribe to his YouTube channel. It's really important. Subscribe to Nick Dorsey. And when you're on there, make sure you subscribe to Joe the Finance Guy. That's how you look me up on YouTube.
Absolutely. You can look me up at Nick Dorsey Leadership because apparently a lot of people have my same name. So
oh, really?
Yeah. So Nick Dorsey Leadership. So
see, that's surprising me. Really? Yeah. Nick Dorsey is a common name?
I guess so.
I would have never guessed that, but all right.
Yeah, I just go with it, whatever. It is what it is. So everybody out there, I want to tell you a big thing. Joe and we do a lot of our stuff on LinkedIn, and we really like LinkedIn and what it has brought back to us personally. I've branded myself pretty well on LinkedIn. I know Joe's doing the same thing, and Joe's getting business off LinkedIn, and I'm just here to have fun and help other people out, and now starting a podcast, I'm going to start branding myself that way. And one of the big things we've always talked about, we have a group of friends we always talk with, and we talk about, taking the networking offline and meet in person and everything. And about a month ago, Joe and I were able to meet up in person when I was on a work trip in Indianapolis. So Joe and I got to meet up in this little Italian cafe there in the kind of middle of nowhere. And it was a good time, and when it comes down to that, it doesn't matter what the food is, doesn't matter what your surrounding is. It's about the company you're with, and it was just fantastic. Joe come rolling in with his fedora on, and he can rock one of those, and it was just a really good time, and I was pressed for time because I had to drive to Louisville that night, and I just, we could have stayed there probably another 2-3 hours easily, and
just from just debating whether they serve Caesar salad dressing in an Italian cafe or not, because
that was hilarious.
That was Italian, but I guess it's not. I don't know. I'm still a little fuzzy on that. I did remember I told you one of my retailers is across the street?
Yeah.
I talked to him I think it was July 1st when I was out, and him and I were talking about that same thing. Yeah, I had lunch right over there. Oh yeah, we go over there sometimes too. What do you think of the place? They loved it. They said the rolls were the best. Remember
those garlic? Yeah.
Are you gonna have some of those? I'm trying to stay off it, but yeah.
I did tell Virginia that you ate a salad, or Erica, you ate a salad, so
no,
she was funny on that one.
Yeah, we're on that one now. I think I told her and Ira and Peter and all them. Yeah. Yeah, no salads here, but
that was awesome. So
I had a great time. I can't wait till next time you come in. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, I think it's going to be soon because I have a position open there, and I have to go out there to interview them or whoever it is. So hopefully, but we're not getting a lot of applicants for some reason. So it's really it's frustrating, but it is what it is. The right one will come around and fall into our lap, and that's it'll be worth the wait. So.
It will.
That'll be really good. So,
to key on what you said, taking the online, offline, I if anything that people take away from this, I knew Ira, I think since 2017, but I really did not get engaged with LinkedIn that much. Nick, was it October? This past October? I mean, I was doing it for me, not for everybody else. I really wasn't paying attention to getting to know people. And then I got to meet, I met Nick and Damon were two of the first ones, besides Ira, but two of the first ones that I did the offline, take the online offline. And they introduced me to Zoom calls pre-COVID. Mm-hmm. This was pre-COVID because I think that's when it was. It was before any of that was. And I was going, my God, this is great. And then I started loving doing the Zoom calls. So I think that was great. And that's how we got to know each other. I love talking to you, where it's funny. I don't mean to give any secrets away, but you know what? If you don't really want to talk to somebody, you do this at first. I've got a meeting in 15 minutes. I
got a hard stop in 5.
Yeah. We're gonna have,
that's usually true, but
I know. But then again, we were on the phone for
it was a long time.
It was just, I usually have I don't have the green screen up. Usually it's, I have a back cave. So I think we even talked about the comics and all that's.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And everybody out there, if you don't know Joe, we call him Batman on the side. So I can tell you a lot going there. So our friend Ira enjoys messing with Joe on that stuff. And, it's a big thing. I've been very fortunate as, Joe, where I've met a lot of people offline already. I've been able to meet Ira. I've been able to meet Damon. I've been able to meet Erica and Peter. I've been able to meet Jordan Mendoza. So I met you. So Russ Johns. A lot of Patrick Malone, who lives down here now, and it's been great, and there's so many more people I want, obviously, to get around when this whole COVID's over. Curtis and I were set up to meet, but then when I was in North Carolina, they were pretty much on lockdown. So, we decided to pass on that to the next time I come out there. So that was kind of a bummer, but it's going to happen one day, and Miss Tina Oliver lives maybe 15 minutes from me, and I still haven't met up with her. So, but I'm meeting people from 2,000-3,000 miles away. Go figure on that, So
you need to meet the credit wizard.
Yeah, I know. I got to meet the credit wizard. She's right around the corner for me. So I mean, it's nuts, but it's all good. All this is it's been fun. I started really on LinkedIn in September, and about the same time you started going, at it for like branding yourself and all the other fun things. And it's been a good time. We've met a lot of people. We're tied in with a lot of the same people, and they're just great overall people who are willing to help and want to help. So it's been great, meeting people from other countries. Who knows if I'll ever meet them in person, but God, they've been so supportive there. Whoever thought you would be doing this like a year and a half ago, this would be you now,
Yeah, I would have never guessed. I met Liz Jones comes to mind just right because she's over in London, I think, and if she's watching this, sorry if I messed that up. But I got to talk with her. She does like a coffee break type thing, like on Zoom or whatever with 4 people. It's at 11 a.m. on Thursdays. Well, coincidentally, same time Damon's thing is the Exit Your Way. So I'll go there at 10:30, the Exit Your Way one. I might leave or I'll come back, or stay there and then leave. Like this last one, I left probably 45 minutes in. It was, I got to tell you, it was awesome. Going Exit Your Way was great. And then to go there and see the coffee break one, man, it was great meeting people and talking to them, just being overseas and just being able to have a conversation. And, it's just people you normally would not be meeting that you can meet from LinkedIn and learn about them. It's great.
Yeah. It's really opened my mind. It's really, just, I don't know how to explain it. It's brought something else out of me, to where, I think I have a lot more confidence in things. I'm always a confident person, but, just when you have so many people supporting you who want you to succeed, who are there for you, even if you fail, they're there to pick you up and help you out and help you succeed. That's been the greatest thing. I mean, I was in a funk when I started getting onto this. The only reason I really jumped into LinkedIn is because I watched a Gary Vee video that says you need to engage on other people's posts. I don't care if they went to the gym. All you got to do is say, man, you look woke or something like that. And, and people will respond to you. So, and ironically, after that video, the first post that popped up was Iris Follow Me Friday. And that's where this all started. It just, from that point on, it's just been insane.
Do I can't I would love to try to, I guess, do some of that, like to just do a quick like blurb. But really, give me an example, Curtis Tompkins, he gets the early morning cup of Joe because it's the first post I read every morning. And I'm right there, I'm looking at it. And I'll go, man, he just got the brain ticking. And so I'll just start typing away. And then there's other ones that if I'm engaged with it, I cannot do, hey, looking good, man. See ya. Yeah. I want to give more. But Gary Vee, if that is true, at least engage and comment with people. And I've heard that more times than not, to be able to do that. I'm just more of the type where I really want to give value when I engage.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's a lot of times I'll go through, people are tagging me. I have no clue who they are. And I'll just put down, hey, I appreciate the tag. Thank you for the mention. That one little comment might give me a follower, but it is what it is. It's just, those are fun. But then when there's people who are really engaging on posts, because the people who will tag like 300 people in a post, it's just like,
I don't do it. Come on, you don't have to jump on me now.
No, it's not you. You didn't do that.
I'm messing.
But it's just, I'm like, are you really into it for the engagement, or are you in for it because the top of your post said I gained 5,000 followers in a week?
Right. And that's and funny you should say that. I changed up. Did you notice like these past couple posts I've been asking questions?
Yep.
Doing that. I just wanted to try something different for engagement because I like the engagement, but I really got to learn more about people just from those questions.
Absolutely.
I thought it was a lot better. I think I'm going to start doing stuff like that. I'm not trying to tag that many people, but I do want the engagement too. And
to me, there's a certain group you have to tag, and if you tag a certain amount of people and the right people, the engagement will come.
Correct.
And I like what you did, because I think you need to change up a little bit. You do need to change up. You can't have the same type of post all the time, because you just yourself, myself, you just get bored. And it's the same. It's like a robot.
Right. It becomes white noise, and it's just like, oh, there's another one. Mm-hmm. Keep going through. And
that's what I've done the last couple of weeks. I've done like a Throwback Thursday video that I did 5-6 months ago and throw it out there, and it just shows how much the growth that I've done in LinkedIn and how much my videos have changed. And you can see my first couple ones, I'm like really nervous, and you can see my comfort level get better and better as I go. So yeah, I like doing them because actually they're good messages. So I want to keep spreading those messages. So
I actually love the way you dressed in it. That salmon color shirt really did it. You did.
Yeah. I mean, Paula was all over that. It was, that was like I think it was the day before I was wearing a lime green shirt. And I think that's when Paula and I connected. And then the next day was the salmon shirt, which she calls orange. But, and I remember her just talking about that when I did the video last week. She's like, I love that shirt. I remember you. That's one of the first times we met. So, it was a good reminder of when you meet people, because, your network, my network, we're starting to get up there in numbers and everything. And it's hard to remember when you've connected with people, like I connected with Damon, and he lived right by me at that time. But we weren't really engaging back and forth. And all of a sudden I took a picture when I'm at a Seattle Seahawks game, and then he sends me a message. You're at the game? I'm like, yeah. And found out he had season tickets too. So after that point, that's when we really just started hitting it off and talking a lot. Then we're meeting up at the games and, having some beers together before the game, going to each other's seat at halftime. So, it was just little things like that, how they just fall into place sometimes, and I'll remember that game because I'll remember when I met him, that way, but I can't remember when I met him on LinkedIn.
Right.
I remember Tina and Ira were the same night because, big time football, Friday Night Lights was going, and then Ira with that. And then, then I want to say about a couple weeks later, we actually talked to each other on the phone, then FaceTime. And then, all of a sudden now he accepted me as a connection, so then all of a sudden it just took off.
Right.
So it was nuts. So then I took 3 months off here at the beginning of this year. So from LinkedIn. So now I got to get back into it again. So
you took 3 months off?
To a degree. I barely posted. I was barely.
Yeah, you were engaging. Wait a minute. Yeah, you were engaging though.
A little bit. Yeah. Not as much as I normally would have done. And I mean this in all ways, maybe each month I was gaining like 100 followers or something, but when I'm in my prime, I'm doing 2,000 to 3,000 a month.
Right.
So, and it was really hard when I started back up here, around the beginning of June again, started going in. It took like a couple weeks, 3 weeks of just purely engaging to start seeing that momentum again. And then the other day, what really got me was, so you remember when the press release was put out for our good friend Curtis and his new book?
Yep.
So, I wrote a post on that, and just pretty much shared that post, but, wrote some of my stuff in there. To this day, it's my biggest viewer ever, and I'm at 52,000 views on that thing right now. And I was just like insane. I was like, wow, this is just nuts. So it was really cool. So I got some good momentum going right now.
And I loved it on Saturday. Was it Saturday? When did we do Be Kind? I thought you were doing the same thing I was because Curtis inspired me.
That was Saturday, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. And Curtis inspired me. And then it's almost like you and I are probably typing at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then I remember putting it in the message. Oh my God, Nick, you had to copy off of me. Or something like that. And it wasn't even totally like that, but it was just awesome that you and I mean, we were thinking the same thing. Just be kind. And
you know, posts like that will just gravitate people to it.
Yep.
You know, and the name of the podcast, Gratitude.
Yep.
Perfect right there. You know, I mean, it was a simple gesture that he did. And I'm like, well, this is easy. Let's just spread that word really quick. And you were, you know, we probably happened to read it about the same time and had the same thought process. And there was a lot of people who piggybacked off that and did it themselves. Yep. And, you know, bravo to you, Curtis. That was a great, great post to get a lot of people involved. A lot of people shared. A lot of people wrote their own posts about it. A lot of people gave Curtis shout outs because of that. I mean, that's what I feel this, or LinkedIn at least, is about, because you share a post like that and you get all that engagement, even with people sharing and everything. That's what truly brands you. And that's what truly gets your name out there. And then all of a sudden people are like, who's this Curtis guy? Who's that? And they start looking into it. Oh, he's got a book. Let me go on Amazon. Bam. Buy me a book. Let me check this out, you know? And it's just, and you know he's making it because he's getting some trolls and everything. You know you're doing good when you start getting that.
Haters. Yep.
Yeah, trolls and haters. I'm going to post that tomorrow. I got a video from about 6 months ago about trolls and haters.
Well, one of my biggest posts I've ever done was about a troll. And it was, you know, like how I always do the nice motivational Monday. You know how I'm always like the nice. And you were on there. I know if I digged it up, you commented on it, but the guy said something to me like, I bet you're always happy, or you're happy in death. And I went, what? And then he goes like this, you know, something derogatory, not cursing, but it was something off. And I went back at him on the same post and I go, oh my God, you're my first troll. I can't believe this. And I turned it into a positive. And then I took the screenshot and posted it the next day. That one went by, you know, like everybody was looking at it. And it just, and one of the things I said, the reason why it went like that was because people like chaos.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they like seeing that, you know, we're not watching Mob Wives just to see, you know, that everybody lives great and happy. I know it's not on anymore, but my wife, New York Italian, she's watching the reruns on Vudu. So I just got to throw it out there. But anyways, you don't watch it just for the heck of it. You're watching it because of the drama that goes on, you know, in there. And
absolutely.
And the chaos that it ensues. And there's, well, if you ever seen it, there's a lot of chaos in Mob Wives. But that's the same thing with the trolls. And if Curtis got one or got a couple, that is awesome. That means he is doing something great.
You know, I've gotten a couple, and I used to just mess with them big time and get in, not get into it, but just troll them right back. But then I'm like, you know what? It's just a waste of time. But it was kind of fun. But the problem is I didn't want to lose my branding, all the hard work I did, because somebody saw me do that with somebody, even because some people, you know, who follow me and everything don't know me personally. And they don't know that's just me having fun. It's not me getting fired up. It's not me doing anything. But is it worth potentially losing maybe a career job or something that changes your life because you were just doing that at the moment? So I decided to sit back and look and just say, you know what? I used to go on boards and troll people for football boards and everything and get people going on about other teams. I used to have fun with a lot of that. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do that on this platform because, you know, I'm trying to brand myself and at that time get a job.
Though, but yeah, no. I guess not on this platform.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, I kind of fell into it right there. I hate when people say this is not Facebook, this is not Instagram. I'm like, I don't care. If you don't like it, don't read it. Go on the next person. I mean, you have people who complain about politics. You have people who are on one side of the aisle, on the other side, all that stuff. And people are like, get politics off here. I go, but at the same time, I'm like, isn't this a job board? LinkedIn is for professionals. Maybe these people work for the campaign. So why can't they preach what their campaign's preaching? Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it has to get kicked off the platform. You know, religion's the same way. You have a bunch of religious people who feel one way, who feel the other. They're preaching what they want. Get religion off this. Why? That's their job. So why can't they promote their job? If you don't like it, just scroll past them or just delete them or unfollow them or do something, I mean, who cares? Now you're falling into it. They got you to fall into it, and they weren't doing anything.
Right. And that is true. And they, when you look at LinkedIn, it's changed. I think over the years. Now I'm engaged more now than I was 5 years ago. Whatever, it's just different now. But it's changed so much to where it was all business prior. And it was, everybody looked at it as such, but then everybody started coming out there, and it just proves another point when you go back to, well, this is not Facebook. If you're trying to get a job and you're on LinkedIn, whether you went to Project Help You Grow, whether you went to Job Ready Today, 2 shout outs for our friends there. Thank you very much.
Knows.
Yeah, and Pana Knows. Oh man. Sorry, Kelly. I didn't say Pana Knows. She ingrained something in my mind that I don't associate her with recruiters. And she's the one that put it in my mind that way.
Because how her business is, it's technically not like that. So,
so
that's how I came across Kelly. I sent her my resume because I thought she was a recruiter, and that's how we connected.
I can just see that. No, I am not, for the 5th time. And I love her to death. She's just awesome.
Fantastic.
But when you go back to this and you look at people buy from people hire people. And wouldn't you want that more personal element, in there? That's how come I am on Facebook. I do, I've done some of the videos, the new YouTube videos. I like doing them because people actually buy from people. People will hire people. It's how you represent yourself. And what better way to know about it when you put yourself out there personally?
Absolutely.
When you put yourself out there personally, Nick, I'm telling you, it's just, you can't help but, my God, you got to fall in love with the guy. He's just such a great guy, especially when you did the Throwback Thursday. I don't know how I didn't see the video, but I saw it for the first time. I go, my God, that's just awesome that he did that.
I don't know when really we connected. It was before the first of the year. I just don't know when. But I remember.
Was it before I had the mini stroke in Vegas?
Yeah, I think so, because what it was is I put a post out there talking about, I believe this was it, was talking about, hey, this week I talked to this person, I texted this person, I Zoomed this person, I did this, and I had a whole list of people. And I believe you commented on it about, wow, that's really cool, or something like that. And then all of a sudden it came around, hey, do you want to jump on a call? And bam, then we're on a call like a day or two later. And then from there on, we had a really nice friendship develop, So, it's just, it's stuff like that. It's almost like a whim. It just happened. And it was meant to be. Our paths crossed for a reason.
Oh, I agree with that. I think the same thing with Damon. I think it with Tina Oliver. Tina, the same way. She helps people build their credit. And I help businesses help the people that need to build their credit.
Yeah.
And it's just such a harmony, that her and I get along together. I think the world of her. Every time I have to post, there's a couple people I put things on. So every time I talk about Tina, I got to put Credit Wizard. Yep. Every time I talk about Paula, I have to do this for Star Wars, but she's my Master Jedi Word Poetess.
Yep.
I have to put it in there because that's how I think of her. She is the Master Jedi Word Poetess. And that's her words too.
Yeah.
So that's just awesome. Ira's just Ira.
Ira's just Ira.
Like he just says, oh, that's my LinkedIn bestie. So it is awesome. I was on the phone with him today too. And I just called him up out of the whim and go like this. So what if I did something like this, and this? All right, I can do it. All right, I'm paying you now. So
yeah, that's how I was. I talked to him today about the same thing about building, everything for the new podcast. And, he was just like, well, you got to write me down some ideas. And as we're talking, he's like, well, how about this? I'm like, love it. Just like, I'm like, cool. I just got to take a couple pictures for you. Right on.
Oh, and when he does the thing, are you going to do the same thing? Like I have on mine too with the pictures.
I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna do like the pointer to the side.
I love but so I gotta tell this. I was talking to somebody the other day. One of my friends, JD, one of my friends, and we were talking about vanity, metrics, and the vanity metrics versus do you want things? What are you trying to do? What's your purpose on LinkedIn? And I it's funny because I am vain. In some ways, I really want to be out there. That's why I love Joe, the finance guy. I'll go on anything if I can't, like a podcast, whatever. I love going out there and being able to talk about how I could help others. But when they talk about vanity metrics, it makes you wonder sometimes, I'd probably fall into that a little bit, with the engagement. But who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want to be out there not doing it? I think it helps on both sides because, the more people you get to meet. I would have never met you if I didn't engage and want to be out there to be known. And then it just grew. It went from you, it went to the little, like our dream team, I guess you would say. And it just made us better people, I guess, on there.
One person's watching us, Joe.
Who?
I don't know. We got one person watching us. Thank you.
Okay. First, I want to say thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Mom, I really appreciate you being able to get on YouTube. That's great. Good for
That's
you,
awesome.
Mom. Yeah. I'm glad the text got to you. YOUTUBE.com. That's great.
This is awesome. I figured we weren't going to get a lot of people because it's on YouTube, but once I post this to LinkedIn, that's where we'll get our big time engagement. So I'm pretty stoked for that. I'm really excited about everything that's going on right now. I just finally got out of my comfort zone and just said, what the hell, let's do this. And, make up those late night posts over the weekend to do this. And I'm kind of like, well, no going back now. I'm kind of in.
So Nick, let's talk about you.
All right, let's talk about me.
Yeah, let's talk. I want to talk about you because you know what? We're on. It's your show. This is like your debut show.
It's all good.
Yeah. But still.
Yeah.
But what is it now? Tell everybody, what do you do for a living?
All right, so I am.
Same disclaimer I had to.
Yes, anything I do say, I do not. My company doesn't necessarily have to agree with, and There's my disclaimer.
Okay, see, good for you. See, we knew about that. I'm glad I could add value there. If Virginia was on, I can't even say her last name. I'm not even going to try. Yeah.
Just our finance, our fitness,
our legal officer.
Oh, she's a legal officer too. Yes.
Yeah, legal officer. We would have been able to go that route and ask her, but
yes.
Whatever. But go ahead, Nick. So what do you do?
Thank you for interviewing me on my show. I appreciate this.
Anytime.
I am a regional manager at a company called Carvana. So I oversee a lot of the infrastructure development for our properties. And right now I'm overseeing the whole nation. So 141 properties that we make sure the maintenance, the infrastructure, any type of OSHA codes, just anything that goes along with any of our heavy equipment and our built and our mechanical systems that we have preventative maintenance programs for. And we make sure, everything's in line and getting PM correctly. So, production doesn't slow down. So that's what I do. And,
if I'm right, that's the vending machine.
That is the car vending machines. We have the crazy vending machines that are actually some of the coolest buildings to go look at and watch mechanically wise work there is. I mean, it just I come from manufacturing with a lot of big equipment, and oh God, this equipment we have in these vending machines is just state of the art. It's amazing. So, and that's not me plugging my company. That's me being real about it. It's insane. So But yeah, but I'm not a car salesman, so I can't get anybody cars or discounts. So I get a lot of those messages. Well, I'm buying a car from Carvana. Can you hook me up? Nope. Sorry. Barely hooked myself up. So
I remember the first time I seen it, and I know when we met, I talked to you. I just have to say the vending machine. I think it's the coolest thing, but whenever I see it, I don't know what it was from my past, but Jay Leno collects cars. Mm-hmm. And I always thought that his garage looked something like what you guys have. I don't know if it does or not. I have no idea. It was just when I first saw it, all I kept thinking was, my God, it looks like, Jay Leno's like hobby or whatever, like because he collects cars or whatever. And it's just so cool that you could see everything going around it. And then somebody just picks it and the elevator brings.
Well, what it is you don't buy them from the vending machine. You buy them online. And what it is, they're at an inspection center, like out in, what's that, Greenfield?
Yeah.
Out by you. So if it's there, what you do is you have the option of you want the car delivered to your house, or if you want to get it from the vending machine. And what they do is they give you a coin. It's already predetermined where it's at. So you go in there and you put a coin in, it makes all these like slot machine noises and everything. And then it just goes up and grabs your car because it knows which one to get, and then brings it down to you. And, it's really cool because we have a lot of clientele that will ask us to put some extra decorations on the car because they're trying to surprise somebody. Or like we had a grad student over here in Arizona, graduated from Arizona State University. So they had it all decked out in ASU colors and their logos and everything. And we had a military family get it. So we did like a big military thing for them, and, cancer survivors. So they did like a little special thing for that. So, it's, there's a lot of things that can, get done with that. And I do say my daughter did buy her car from Carvana. So I was very proud when that happened. So
I think I didn't know about the whole, so it makes the slot. I think the next time I buy a car, I'd probably do it just so I could hear the slot machine noises.
Yeah. And, it's really cool. You get the choice of that. And if there's not a vending machine close to you, I don't know if they're doing it during COVID right now because everything going on, but before COVID, they, if you bought a plane ticket to go pick up your car from a vending machine, Carvana would give you up to $200 reimbursement on your plane ticket. So, and then you can drive the car back. Yeah, because the vending machine's different, and that's kind of our key marketing point. I mean, they're there, so we want our customers to have the full experience of Carvana, and we feel the vending machine is the full experience. Not just a truck, let's say, come and drop off your car. It's great and everything, but it'd be cool. It's cool for us to watch the customers, their reactions when they get to the vending machine when their car comes out. It's just the experience, we're looking for. So, I mean, like I said, easy marketing. Those things are LED lit up. So every time in the year, there's a different theme to them. They'll do whatever. It comes in any color combination we want, different floors and everything. So it's pretty cool what we can do with those things.
That is awesome. That is really awesome. I did not know. So you can't buy from the vending machines.
Nope. You got to buy everything online.
Everything's there for those vehicles were already purchased.
Yes. We will fill in gaps if they haven't been purchased with cars that we know will sell, because there's certain cars, there's trends and everything that will fly off the shelf in different parts of the world. In your world, there's a lot more trucks being sold, down here in Arizona and California, it's a lot of Teslas or some type of electric car, because that's the big thing down here. You go to Miami, a lot of luxury cars in that vending machine, because it's right next to Miami Beach and everything. So South Beach. So, it just, it all depends where you go, down in Texas, there's a lot of trucks, a lot of big SUVs, so it's just, you just play where we're at, and right now we have 6 of them across the nation. So, and we got a couple, we got being built in Detroit right now, one being built in Detroit, one being built in Atlanta, and one's opening in Pittsburgh, and one is going to be opening on the Vegas Strip here in October. So that one's gonna be fun to go to. Yeah.
See, now I wouldn't make that a slot machine, like a vending machine. I'd make it more a slot machine.
Well, I asked them if they're going to put a nightclub on the top because, that's what every other place down there has. But, didn't go that route quite.
That would be nice. We're going to be having all our company functions at this place now. So
yeah.
That would be
great. Machine on top.
Right. Wow. That is, well, that's good to know. I did not know all that about Carvana. So
yeah,
that is great. And good for you. Well, whoever's watching this, I hope you don't ask Nick to help me buy a car.
Yeah, because our saying is we're not car salesmen. So look at that. So that's one of the big sayings in our main headquarters building. Big old lighted sign up right there. So it's really fun. It's a different world for me because it's a lot of corporate stuff. So it's a different world for me from being out on the floor in a manufacturing plant. But I've been enjoying it. I've been blessed with the opportunity. I've met some really cool people, and we're really grateful for everything because my wife and I always talk about, all this stuff in the world that's going good for us could be gone tomorrow, so we just have to be, we just have to be grateful. We just have to be down to earth, and we want to enjoy it while we have it, and then meet the right people because if something does happen, there's going to be people there to support you and have your back. And, something happens to me, I'm sure I can reach out to a lot of these people and probably at least get some interviews or something if I needed to. So, and it's because of me just branding myself and just being nice to people. I mean, that's the bottom line. It's just being nice,
Right. Exactly. No, I agree with you. I think and I've thought about that too. I did have that conversation just recently with somebody that I used to work with. It'd be, and I'm happy where I'm at. I love whoever's watching this from work.
I agree with you. Me too.
But if anything ever happened, I forgot what the exact verbiage was, but basically in a nutshell, something ever happened, I was let go, whatever, it'd be, I don't know what I'd do. And this one, the first thing he said was, "You're kidding me, right? All us finance companies would be in line waiting like college recruiters to take you." And I was like, and that just like made me smile from ear to ear, but I wasn't doing that. But you never know what would happen. And I think it's about being nice because this person I've known for so long, anybody that used to work for SEMA that didn't anymore, or people I knew in the past, there's no reason to have a bad, to treat people badly.
Mm-hmm.
Things happen. People go off their own ways. People do other things. People go on to bigger and better things. And I think it's important. You're right to be nice to everybody because you never know when you're, you could be riding high one minute and you could be right down here the next. And exactly. I've gone through the actual most humbling experience ever. And this, I'll make it quick because I know we're going 43 minutes into this so far. And well,
we can go all night.
Okay, good. Well, and
I'm not going to, but we could.
I know, knowing me, I'd probably talk for another, at least 30. No, but anyways, I used to work for a company, Aaron's, and I worked for them for 10 to 12 years. And there was a switch over, and I was used to making, a lot of money. I had to work for it, and I wasn't really great at that time. And this was a while ago. I wanted to do everything for the kids. I wasn't thinking about saving up money. I was thinking more of, let me buy everything for the kids. Let me buy everything for me. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't want for anything. Be happy now because you never know what'll happen later. Live for today. Not. I wasn't the ant, which I should have been. I was acting like the cricket or the grasshopper or whatever. So, anyways, they changed CEOs, and the old CEO, Ken Butler, great guy, great person, awesome, and they let go of the VP, and then myself, I was next. So you talking about not having that much money in the bank?
Yeah.
And going through the whole, I have to go back to my wife, New York Italian, mind you, and tell her I'm out of a job. I don't know how long we're going to survive. And I can't get my money like that 401k, but it wasn't called a 401k at that time. It was a deferred program or something like that. I couldn't get that for 6 months. I didn't know what to do. And literally my wife kept the family together.
Mm-hmm.
She was able, she's the coupon queen. You know, when you were allowed to do that whole coupon thing, remember, like where you could go there and you could go out there and go, I only paid $5. Yeah, she was one of the first ones to do that. Can't happen anymore. You can,
extreme couponing.
Yeah. Extreme couponing. We had a stockpile room, and we still do. There's still stuff in there. But she kept it all together for the whole family. And you know, God bless. I found a job in 1 month. 1 month started working there and wasn't making as much as I was. It was a little bit less, but we could survive barely. Worked there for about 1.5 years, and then I found Acima. And I started out. I don't know if they thought that Indiana wouldn't take off, or they maybe thought that I wouldn't do as good as I did. I have no idea. And but I grew my business because I treat it like my own business. I grew it from the, you know, I've signed up over 920 locations so far.
That's awesome, Joe.
And
congratulations, man. That's some good stuff right there.
And 82% have stayed doing leases with me.
Nice.
So, which is great. But I tell you that because where I was at, I started thinking more like the ant, and I started saving. I paid off all my credit card debt. My wife and I, the only thing we owe right now is the house. That's it. I've got 5 years to retire, and if I retire in 5 years, that's when my son graduates.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when my wife and I are having a good time. Not that we're not having a good time with the kids. Sorry, shouldn't have said that part.
I get you. I understand.
Retirement time, yeah. Yep. But I got 5 more years left, and now it's a whole different mentality. And these past 5 years with Acima has taught me so much, but I hit rock bottom. Mm-hmm. I mean, for a good month now, I wasn't not looking, and there are more choices out there now because you could go to web, you could e-commerce, you know, drop shipping things. There's so many things you could do right now. But I hit rock bottom, and thank God my wife, who is my best friend, she was there to pick me up, and I got that one job, and it just kept me going from there. So,
you know, having a strong spouse is key. I mean, my wife has jumped with me from moving across our state, moving back across the Washington state, then moving down to Arizona, 1,500-mile trek. She's been so supportive every step of the way because she did say she realizes it's my career that is going to be the breadwinner. You know, I'm the one who's going to be able to support a lot more of these things. So she knew my career was going to take off, and she had that vision. And it was hard for her because, you know, she retired after close to 21 years in the same place, you know, and it's hard to tell somebody to have them let that go after 21 years for somebody taking a whim and jumping up on these jobs. But you know what? She was open-minded enough to understand that, and it's paid off for both of us now tremendously, you know, and I couldn't thank her enough, you know, and it's just her support got me here, you know. I mean, because she could have said no at any step, and we might not even be talking right now, you know. It's how it worked out, you know. It's just one different step, just the tiniest little thing change from years ago would change your whole life.
Yep.
You know, so it's, you know, it sounds like we're both very fortunate, so that's awesome.
Oh my God, my wife, I gotta tell you, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here right now. It's actually my wife and my oldest daughter, Cass. They were my life. I mean, they helped me. If you knew how I was back then, you know, I'm pre-meeting my wife. I just wasn't. I was funny. I mean, I did stand-up comedy or whatever, but I didn't want to be in a serious relationship. And then, you just know. I remember not getting religious or talking too much about it, but I remember praying at night, outlining the perfect woman for me. I swear to you. And not more than a month later, I met my wife.
Just crazy. Just nuts. My wife and I met at a place that neither one of us have ever been to before. I didn't want to go there that night. My buddy begged me to go with him, so I just ended up going, and then there it was. Just really weird. And then the place is closed now. So it's like, hey, so.
Her and I, we met at Lowe's, and the first thing she ever said to me, believe it or not, and I was loss prevention at the time. So I'm supposed to get the paperwork behind, the desk or whatever, the front desk. And I remember the first thing she ever said to me was, "What are you doing behind my counter?" Now we're in South Carolina. Everybody has a Southern draw, except her and I. Like, I'm from Chicago and she's from New York. So, and she said that, I go, and I didn't really want confrontation because I've always said it would take a New York woman to keep me in line. And I was right. And she said, she goes, I said, "What are you doing behind my counter?" I'm supposed to I'm loss prevention. I don't know you. So no, you can't be back here. And thank God my boss at the time, Bobby, came up and go, "Oh, no. He's part loss prevention." And that's how we met. And I'm telling you, I didn't even smoke back then, but I wanted to be around her so much. Whenever she would go out for a smoke break, I would go follow her. And I wasn't even smoking. Wow. I mean, I wasn't. When I tell you that, oh yeah, I was a smoker back then. Yeah. A smoker doesn't count when you borrow cigarettes from people and you only smoke 3 a day, and you're not really even smoking them. You're just holding them in your finger and going like, "Oh yeah, sure, good stuff." But I wanted to be around her and everybody else out there, so it was great. But that's how we met, and next thing you know, 4 kids later and 2 grandkids now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, very blessed.
Good times. So. Joe, I'm going to shut it down now, but this has been awesome. Hopefully people will watch the full 52 minutes, going on 53 minutes of this. I don't know, but our conversation has been fantastic because we always have great conversations. So,
well, I appreciate you. And Nick, thank you very much for having me on your show. I appreciate it.
Just go ahead and plug yourself real quick. Where can people find you, Joe?
You could go to joethefinanceguy.com. and look at my website. If you are looking to increase your retail business and actually your top line revenue, at least by 5 to 10%, please contact me. I could bring in a stream of customers for you. So please get in contact with me.
Awesome. Connect with Joe. I know he's on Twitter. I know he's on LinkedIn, Facebook. Yeah. So go find him. He's there. We're always on the same post, so we always have fun together. Yep. I want to thank everybody who watches this. Be looking out for the All Things Gratitude LinkedIn page coming. I'm going to be creating that here soon this week, and be looking out for the podcast because it's going to be launching really soon. I got an okay person working on my digital media for it, so I mean, we'll see what he comes up with. So. But
I'm sure it'll be good.
It'll be all right. I mean, shout out to our buddy Ira for, doing all that stuff for myself and everything he's done for Joe and Curtis and Kelly and everybody out there. I mean, it's been fantastic. Absolutely. Well, friends, I just want to say thank you, everybody. I mean, everybody from here, our Canadian friends, Paula and Ron. I just had to do a throw out to Ron because I'm sure he was waiting for a pants joke. So there you go, Ron.
Well, either that or he's going to tell everybody, listen, don't spam or do anything else like that. Some IT security type message.
Something like that, or talk to you about Bitcoin people, whatever. So,
oh my gosh. And if you're selling Bitcoin, please get in touch with Ron Craig.
Yes, he would really enjoy that. He'd love your conversation.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, thanks, Joe. And have a good night, man. And we're going to drop out of the broadcast.
All right.
Have a good one, everyone.